Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Tomb Raider Inferno issue 1. This is from Dark Horse, script by Jackson Lanzing and Colin Kelly, line art by Philip Sevi, colors by Michael Atiyeh, lettering by Michael Heisler, cover art by Hannah Templar. The editor was Megan Walker. This is kind of a sequel to the movie that came out in 2018 where Lara Croft is fighting a group called Trinity that is after ancient artifacts. The reasoning doesn't seem to matter too much. They're just doing it because they can. So she's going to this secret location in the Arctic? The Antarctic? It's not really clear. Somewhere where there's a lot of snow. The caption boxes give us this horrible narration, which is really kind of boring about hunters hunting and how hunters become the prey, blah blah blah. Lara Croft jumps out of a helicopter, which is kind of a cool scene. And then she walks to this dig site, which has a bunch of generic symbols from alchemy mostly and occult lore. It's all stuff right out of Google. I mean, it's nothing fancy, nothing even remotely original. But she's at this place called the Tomb of Eden, supposedly the final resting place of God. And all these other cultures are supposed to have been there. Well, she manages to rip the door off the hinges of this workstation and goes in. There's a guy tied up. And of course, it's a trap and it's really dumb. There's an explosion right next to her and she's not injured. She does manage to fight from passing out. She's got a couple little cuts and bruises, nothing serious, no real injury. At that close, the concussion from the blast should have liquefied all her internal organs and crushed most of her bones. But I guess we're gonna overlook that. So she goes outside and discovers some more bombs. Some people shoot at her. She does some general athletic stuff, gets hit with some tranq darts and passes out. And the bad guys come out and this strong, independent black lady says the war's over, it's time she knew peace. So they're going to take her down into the tomb, and we got a cliffhanger ending. This was realistically a half an issue. Lots of big panels, most of which were big for no reason. The dialogue was typically sparse, but there's a scene where she's over-explaining to this guy that's tied up, and I think he would know some of that, since she's explaining what's going on with this pit, and he apparently was supposed to have been working there, so I would think he would know some of this. That would make sense. Anyway, it felt like it was very rushed and had an interesting idea that wasn't executed well. And I don't know why she doesn't have the guns in this. She's got the bow for some stupid reason. It's a very impractical weapon to take, and she's getting shot at a lot, but maybe she'll pick up some guns later. I guess she does have a sidearm with her, but I don't know why the bow was even there. That's just dead weight when you're walking around in the icy tundra. Where are you gonna get extra arrows? Nobody has arrows down there. You gotta be kidding me. I'm sure she'll find some though. It'll be dumb like that. But it was an okay issue. The cover is terrible. The interior art actually isn't too bad, but just looking at the cover image, I would be real hesitant to pick it up because I'm like, oh man, that's hideous. But the interior art's actually pretty good. So I thought it was pretty mediocre. Was it worth my $4? No. Was it worth $2? Yeah. maybe $3. I would have paid $2.99 for it and not felt too cheated. Overall, it was an okay, pretty mediocre, very forgettable issue. I'm gonna try and pick up issue 2, but honestly, it's not exactly high on my priority list, and I may just forget. That's how memorable this was. The entire plot really felt very generic and very rushed. Like, they didn't put a lot of thought into the mythology they were trying to build. If they did, they didn't bother to share it with us. There was just some gibberish nonsense squeezed into a couple panels where there's a lot of oversaturated talking, and honestly, I just started spacing out by about the second word balloon. I think this is really not going to appeal for most people, but if you do like action adventure books, this might be okay for you, but I would wait till it's closer to the dollar bin. I wouldn't pay cover price for it. I didn't think it was worth that. But that's just my take on it. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing so you never miss a future review, and we hope to see you on the next one.